Hello and welcome to the Pleistocene channel. My name is Daniel and this is Prison Architect. Let's see what kind of trouble our prisoners can get in today. So I have done some playing of Prison Architect in the past and I like it a lot. I have built a prison that housed 500 inmates, and it was a pretty good prison. But I'm going to shoot for the moon here. I'm going to go for a prison that can hold 1,000 prisoners, and I'm going to hopefully have it populated with only maximum security inmates. Now, that's going to be quite an undertaking. So we'll see how it goes, but I think I can do it. So we're gonna get started here. We're gonna just start with the basics. I'm gonna play this game just like I would any other game of Prison Architect, but I'm going to keep in mind that all of my prisoners are going to be maximum security inmates. So I'm gonna change that right now. We're gonna do fill capacity, and we're gonna change it to only maximum security inmates. Now that means that we're not actually going to get inmates on the first day. So we will not have inmates until at least the second day. And I'm going to put a little pressure on me. So I've changed my mind. I'm not going to do fill capacity. I'm going to do number of prisoners per day. And we're going to set this to 8. Alright, so 8 per day. Now we don't have any arriving the first day, and I am going to speed through a lot of this, a lot of the building part of this. Once we get some inmates, I'll probably keep it a little slower, but I don't want to have a situation where I take an entire episode or more to before we even get inmates. So I'm going to keep this going pretty quick. Alright, so I want a reception area here. It's not completely necessary to start with a reception area, but I think I'm going to, simply because I think it's good to be able to take out some of that contraband early. How long is this? 19. Okay, so it's an odd number. So we'll go for that, and let's build some walls. I'm gonna do this modularly, so I'm gonna build pretty much one room at a time. I'm gonna put a holding cell over here because we get that grant pretty early. Alright, so this will be reception. This will be a holding cell. Alright, so the reception is going to need a desk and a table and a chair. So that's all for reception. However, I'd like to do my own lighting. I think lighting on a just the standard auto lights puts the lights in kind of random places, so I like to do my own lights. Alright, before we get too far, I want to go ahead and get some utilities in here, because before we put too many walls, I'd like to get some things run immediately. Put the power station, and I'm going to give the power station a couple of blocks, or a couple of squares to be able to put some capacitors around it, and then we'll connect them. Actually, I think this comes with its own connection, so we'll see about that here momentarily. Alright, so then the holding cell needs a bench and a toilet. We'll put some lights in there too, and then we'll get some power lines going, and we'll just put one central line down there, and if we need to branch off of it to get to some of the other areas, we can. To get going with plumbing, actually plumbing is going to be a little trickier, because once we don't really want to do plumbing until we get the cells laid out, because I don't want any of the prisoners to have access. They're going to be maximum security prisoners, so they will be trying to escape as much as possible. Alright, so what are some of the other things we need to start this prison? Alright. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take these grants. We're going to do the basic detention center and the staff well-being initiative. Kind of like starting out with those. For one, the staff gets to where it's pretty tired pretty early. So it's good to have a place for them to rest. I'm going to make this part right here a storage area, and that is because otherwise the workers will just leave random things all over the place. So if we make that a storage area, then they'll, put things away when they're done with it. Okay, now I want to build an office specifically for the warden. So let's assume we're going to have a hallway that may be 3 wide. We'll put, well, okay, now let's make it 1 wide, and we'll make the office over here. No, I don't like that. Changing my mind. Okay, actually let's put the offices in a completely different building. I'm actually going to plan that out here in a minute. Okay, so let's keep going with what we need for this basic detention center. We need a holding cell. We got that. We need a shower, yard, kitchen, and canteen. Okay, so the canteen is going to be probably the largest room we have. So let's go ahead and plan this out just a little bit. So if we want cells, now I could do a dormitory, but with maximum security inmates, I know that I'm going to get some rough characters, potentially some gang members. I don't want to do anything to, throw off the balance any earlier than I need to. So, okay, so I like to have my cells on the interior part. So as much as this isn't completely efficient, I'm going to put my cells this direction. Okay, and this will be the first 8. Now I'm going to try to build my cell blocks in a fairly unique way. So so no 2 cell blocks will be the same. Now when I say a cell block though, I'm thinking that I'm thinking that means like an entire group of cells plus the showers plus the canteen. So when we're looking at cells, we're not talking about like just the 8 in a particular block. We're talking about that entire wing. So if we make this a cell block, I actually don't really like this. I actually think I'm going to expand this immediately. So I think I'm going to make the cell block up here. Okay, so if we assume that we're going to expand this out, then we can make a cell block for potentially 20 prisoners already. So we can have 20 prison cells ready to go. We'll need something like this. Now I don't like usually putting the cells on the outside of on the outer wall, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to have a choice, just because I want to get some built, and I want to get them built quick, and to plan it out with them on the inside would be a little tricky. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do something like this. 9 and 10. Okay, let's take this one out actually, and that one. So this can be, yeah, this will work. Well, how does that work? Okay, so that's there. This is there. Okay, yeah, that'll. Oh no, I'm still 1 off. Okay, so we'll put it down here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's 9 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we can get 10 in right here. And the reason I'm saving this space over here is because we can make this into a hallway to the canteen and a shower area. Yeah, that'll be big enough for a shower. Okay, so if we assume this is going to be some kind of central canteen, we've got 10 cells over here. I'm going to put 10 cells over here as well. I'm going to go ahead and map this out, and then we'll get them building the foundations. We're already coming up on 12 hours in, and I don't have any cells set up yet, so I'm starting to get a little nervous. I think we got plenty of time though, so I'm gonna not worry about it. I'm gonna make sure I plan this out correctly. Okay, so that will be the extent of the cell block. That mirrors it perfectly. Okay, this will be our canteen. This area will be the kitchen for the canteen. And this will be one shower. We'll have another shower over here. Okay, so if this is a central line, that starts through. It's probably easier if I just build the cells. Alright. Yeah. And then this is a cell. Here we go. And this way we'll kind of separate the prisoners to the point where there's not a bunch of prisoners interacting at once. Because if there's 10 prisoners on each side of this, the only time they will really interact is when they're either in the yard or in the canteen, which is acceptable. Okay, so this is a fairly small canteen, but it should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and have my guys start building this foundation. Don't want to wait any longer, just in case the building of this takes a little longer than I'm expecting. All right, so that's good. So we've got a cell block over here. We can put another cell block down here. Actually, you know what? Let's put our administration down here. This will be good. Okay, so if we wanted to have some kind of let's give our warden a corner office, a fairly large corner office. Yep, that looks good. And then we can have the accountant, maybe. I want the security chief to be in the security area, so if we... No, I feel like I want to build that building separately. Okay, so we can put other things down here. We can put a medical ward down here. We can put a common room, maybe a maybe other things like that. All right, so let's speed through this. I want to go ahead and get building. Okay, so now that that's done, I can actually demolish these walls, and then that should make it to where that finishes. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got this central area. I'm gonna go ahead and put a jail door in right here. One thing I'm gonna need with maximum security is solitary confinement. So actually, that'll probably have to go down in this area as well. All right, so let's go ahead and delineate some of the areas. We'll have the canteen here. Actually, we can even go in maybe one more. And then the kitchen will be right here. Okay, and then showers. Okay, and then the cells will do because it'll be easier after the after all the walls are in. Okay, so let's go ahead and power this up. Let's go ahead and put a central line of power down the middle, and then we'll go branch off of that to these two areas. Okay, so hopefully this is all one building. It looks on the power grid like it's separated somehow, but maybe that's just the decaying power as it gets further away from it. Okay, so the main lines in are going to be these two areas. I'm going to go ahead and place all the stuff in the kitchen. So we'll have a sink, and it'll be on this back wall. Actually, we do need more room for the kitchen. So I'm going to extend the kitchen out to here. And the kitchen and the canteen can just touch for now. I may put a wall in between them for now, later on, but for now it'll be okay. Okay, so cookers, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 cookers in. I want to watch the money I'm spending, though. Don't want to spend too much. 2 cookers should be enough for our purposes, though. And then I want to put a waste bin, because it helps keep the contraband at a minimum. Okay, and then this area for the canteen. Oh, let me go ahead and put some lights in here. And here, here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and plan out these tables because tables can get a little tricky. So we're going to have 20 prisoners in this area, which means we're going to have almost too many for this tiny little canteen. Okay, so what are our options? Our options, we could reduce the number of cells, or we could just have really cramped space, but that gets a little more dangerous. Because I could fit 3 tables in here, and that would be places for 24 people to eat. But that's still going to be really cramped. Okay, let's go ahead and take this part out. So that gives us a little more room. We can extend the canteen over. Where is it? It's right there. Okay, we can extend the canteen over all through this area. That gives us way more space for tables. So we can have one table here, table here. Actually, let's just do a table here. Yeah, that'll be a little more symmetrical. And then we can have the actual serving table over here. Okay, yeah, that worked out. And then none of them are, too close together. They're not going to be right on top of each other and wanting to kill each other. So, at least I hope not. I mean, they are maximum security, so they are pretty tough people. All right, let's go ahead and put some shower heads in. And some drains. How are we doing on time? We're at 4 hours. Money, we're at 26,000. We're okay. Alright, so let's speed that up a little bit. I need to connect the power to there. And we can actually demolish, just to keep things clean, we can demolish those two. And then we're looking good. Okay. Now that I know the plan for this, I can go ahead and do the plumbing. So I don't want anything to be easily accessible by the prisoners of these in these cells. So as much as it pains me to do it, I think I'm gonna have to run 2 main lines. See, that'll be really close to their cells, though. Okay, let's try running this main line right here down, and then I might be able to branch off of that. I'm gonna just connect that toilet like that. Yep. Okay, we're down to 2 hours. It's flashing, but only because it's just telling me that the prisoners would arrive. But since we don't have any maximum security, there's none arriving. Okay, so that should take care of the shower heads. Now the toilets are going to be trickier. I don't know how far we can stretch these. I guess I'm going to just try one, and we'll see if it actually can take the water that far. See, it can hit this toilet with this run, but that's a pretty short run. So I'm not sure how long these pipes can handle. These small pipes, anyway. Okay, the shower heads are all good. Okay, it looks like it can handle that. So if that's the case, then I should be golden to do all of these that way. Now, that being said, I don't know. All right, well let's just try it. Why not try it? I'm just gonna take it as far as we can, and then we'll just see what it can handle and what it can't. We'll increase the length of the large pipes if we need to, once they get it all plumbed. And now I've left all the walls out here so far because it's just so much easier for the workers to get in and around if there's no walls to stop them. Okay, it looks like the small pipes can actually carry that really far, which is great, because now we've hit every cell. We don't have any cells that are super close to this large trunk here. It looks like, yeah, it doesn't look like it decays at all, so I think it'll be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get these things in. Let me make sure I know exactly where everything's placed. Okay, so it's on that level. Um, Here we go. All right. This side. And did I put them there? Yep. Okay. Alright, so now all of them have toilets, and we can add the beds. I'm trying to keep the beds as far away from the toilets as possible. Just know that'd make me happy if it were me living in here. Which I hope it never will be, but... Alright, so that's all the beds. That means the last... actually, let's go ahead and put the lights in the cells. We'll do one in the shower as well. Whoops. One light in each cell. Just want to make sure that they can see. Okay. And that means that whole cell block is now lit up. Let's go ahead and get the walls built. We're at the point where we can do this part because all the plumbing's in, all the items are in. The only thing we're missing are the doors, and that we will do next. Now I've kept this separated in the middle. Like I could have this be a hallway. But I've kept it separated in the middle just so we can keep control of the way the prisoners are pathing around. That'll help us in the long run. Alright. So I'm trying to figure out, I want to actually get prisoners in this episode, but it's going to be tight. Because this building process has already taken more than 20 minutes, and I don't want this episode to run too much longer than about 25 minutes, maybe 30 at the most. But we're getting close. Either way, at least the planning phase will be complete if we have to end it a little early. Okay, so now we can mark all these as cells. Now that we have the walls in, it makes it really easy to do. And, alright. And now we can do the doors. Last thing for this particular cell block. I'm keeping as much as I can. I'm keeping it running at 3 times speed just so we can get through this part quickly. Okay, now our capacity is growing. We now have room for 18 because we took the 2 cells out, so we have 18 spots for 18 prisoners in this particular cell block. So that's feeling good. Okay. I am going to go ahead and connect the administration over here. So what I'm thinking is the offices themselves have to be at least 4 by 4. So if we do something like this, and then I think we can get 4 on this other side. Oh, can we? No, we can't. Okay, but we could have this be the staff room area. Okay. All right. So let's plan this out a little more complex. All right. So if we want this whole area to be potentially administration, we need offices for the warden. We want a security area, so I'm actually liking having the security area close to the entrance here. Okay, and then I want the warden to have this spot right here because it is the closest to the road. It's the most accessible, and it's a corner office, so he can have a couple of windows to look out of and keep an eye on like incoming visitors and incoming inmates and stuff. Okay, so he'll be right there, and but he will be right by the loading dock. Let's do let's put him on the other side. I keep changing my mind. Okay, so in this case, the best bet for this particular office is going to be the foreman, because the foreman will need to be here by the storage area, by the deliveries. So that'll be good. Okay. And then we don't need then the foreman himself can actually have a route into the staff room, and this can be the staff room. Then we'll have another office here, which needs to be one larger. Let's increase the staff room size by 1. Okay, so this can be maybe the accountant. The psychiatrist we're not going to build an office over here for, because the psychiatrist will need to be in more the main area to help take care of the prisoners. I need to put jail doors here to block off that as a cell block. Okay. Oh man, the poor worker guys don't have any lights in the storage room. It's unfortunate. Okay, so we are actually 3 hours from prisoners. 3 hours from prisoners coming in, and that means I don't understand that. Oh, that's confusing. Maybe if I put a jail door there, because that holding cell needs to be complete. Okay. I don't understand why this reception is having problems with the canteen. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, okay. So this is going to be just a temporary fix, but we do need a yard, so I'm going to go ahead and block this off as a yard area. We'll have a jail door going out here to be able to access it. That's going to be a pretty intense pipeline. That's not ideal, but it's going to have to do for now. Okay, and then I'm going to have, okay, just to continue planning it out, if we have the warden right here, then we can have the security chief right here, and then, oh, we got a blueprint, or a notebook page, starting conditions. Interesting. And then we can have the actual security office itself eventually. We don't actually need the security office yet. We can't even actually access it yet. But we can go ahead and plan it out. We'll make this whole area the little security subdivision. So let's make that a yard. We need to hire some cooks immediately. They'll need to start cooking. And guards. We can go ahead and hire 5 guards. Or apparently 6, because I hit it 6 times. That's okay. And then we'll go ahead and get our workers working on this. Okay, so we still got a pretty good balance. One thing that I've noticed is that whenever maximum security prisoners come in, one of the first things they do is they potentially hurt each other. Or they have contraband. Oh, here we go. Here are our first prisoners. And this is good, because we are right at the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Pleistocene channel. My name is Daniel. We're going to get to 1,000 maximum security prisoners in this series, so keep watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want future updates, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.